It's about building the system and the team, right? The flipping, what we do is not that difficult. It's buy low, sell high. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of variance in between, right? You make it tough if you don't know the right people to call. Like you got to know what the title company's supposed to look like. And you and I both know they're investor friendly title companies,
Oh, yeah.
and there's one that's just gonna be a royal pain in the tuchus, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
and until you work with an investor friendly one, you're not gonna be able to tell the variable between the two. So I'm just setting it up here so you get it. You can do as many deals as you want here, but if you wanted to expand to Iowa, Texas, whatever,
Yeah.
once you've done a couple of deals, it's much easier to do that because you understand what it's supposed to look like.
Hey there, do you want to skip the trial and error in real estate investing? Visit my website, dwanderful.com. I will show you how to do double your income in no time at all.
A broke single mom fired from Denny's becomes America's most sought after real estate investor. How does that happen? Well, that's me, Dwan Bent Twyford, aka Dwanderful. But it doesn't stop there. I, along with some amazing guests, are going to teach you everything there is to know about investing. Listen, success is not exclusive. I can teach you, you can have it too. I can share with you. So I want you to join me for season 5 of the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. Cheers. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I'm your host, Dwan Bent Twyford. I'm America's most sought after real estate investor, and I am so excited that you are here with me today. As you can see, I have an awesome guest who's waiting to share some valuable information with us. And before we get into what Donnie does, if you're new to Dwanderful, our motto at Dwanderful is people before profits. So if that is something that resonates with you, then you're at the right place, the right time. I'm your girl. We're your people. Go to Dwanderful, DWANDERFUL, Dwanderful.com. Opt in. I have some free ebooks and some free gifts for you. And so I took my name, Dwan and Wonderful, and I made a new word. So you are now in the world of Dwanderful. And our guest is Donnie Coram. So, Donnie, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, Dwan. Thanks for having me on the show today.
You're in the Dwanderful universe now.
I feel wonderful.
So, first of all, I like to start off. We always like to have a toast. Are you
All right,
drinking
we're toasting
water
water.
or something there? You got anything?
I didn't bring anything. I can say, hold on, hold that thought. I got a beer from last night.
There you go.
All right. To
Always
you.
good to start off. Toast. So, cheers to you. Everyone that's watching, cheers.
And to you.
Everybody take your drink. Everyone take your stretch. Get all the thoughts out of your head so you can focus it and you can listen to me and Donnie talk for a minute. So, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dwan. Thank you for asking. It's been an incredible week and a wonderful real estate journey. I'm so excited to be on your show today. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on today, and then I get to be on yours too. So super excited about that. So what we like to do is we're just gonna throw you straight to the wolves over here.
Okay.
So I just like you to tell us your name, how people can reach you on all your socials, just so that's in the top of the show notes, and then like one sentence or 2 sentences what you do, and then I have some fun questions over here, and we're going to ask questions and see how you came to be Donnie, who's on my show today.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm Donnie Coram, also known as the Foreclosure Deals Coach, and you can check me out at www.foreclosuredealscoach.com. Basically, I help people, investors, to find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal. I'm based in the Colorado Springs marketplace, but I have clients all over the country right now who are doing deals in both Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and a completely sight unseen virtual flip on a foreclosure deal, resulting in a minimum profit of $25,000 or more as a result of working with me as their coach.
I love that. 25 or more. And that's awesome. And you're in Colorado Springs.
I am.
I did not know you were in Colorado Springs. So we live over in Bailey, Colorado, like on the other side. I don't know how to describe. Like we're over like when you go up 285 to like Evergreen, Conifer, we're like over here, and you guys are like over there. So just last year, I met a woman who started a RIA group in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Her first name is Dwan.
Are you kidding me? What are
I
the
was
chances?
like, no,
Dawn
Dwan.
Petty by chance?
Yes,
I know Dwan. She's a client. She's one of my
yes.
clients.
And I was like,
Small world.
girl. So I said, we got to come. So Bill and I went over there and spoke. Yeah, Dwan Petty. And we went over there and spoke, and I took pictures. I'm like, hey, you got 2 Dwans right here
I know
in
there's not a lot of
Colorado.
Dwans out there. So when you said Dwan in Colorado Springs, it had to be Dwan Petty. She's awesome though. They're great
She's
people.
awesome. So she and her husband, we all work together a little bit now, but it's like, oh, Colorado Springs, maybe you know Dwan. So it's super
Yeah.
weird because we did a workshop for her group. And when people go, hey, Dwan, we both turn around. Because neither one of us are ever used to being in a room with another
Right.
person named Dwan. And she
Right.
spelled it the same, all the same. And I was like, oh, so we took a picture, like little driver's license and our names. It's like, 2 Dwan,
Okay.
state of Colorado. And like,
That's awesome.
I know she's great though. She's great. All
Yeah.
right. And on
Anthony's
social
good people too.
media,
They're good people.
did you give us all your socials?
Yeah, so foreclosuredealscoach.com. You can find me at sign Foreclosure Deals Coach. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I've got a Facebook group, Foreclosure Deals Coach, and I've got a podcast that we're going to have you on here soon,
Yep.
the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. So
I love it.
if you Google Foreclosure Deals Coach, you'll find me somewhere.
Okay. See, that's what I was happy. I was like, listen, just type in Dwanderful like anywhere. And
Right.
it's there. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and just anywhere. Put it there, and there's a million pages that'll pop up about me. So
Indeed.
now I like foreclosure deals coach. I am a huge fan of foreclosure. Most of my real estate journey for the last 35 years has been specifically in the foreclosure market. But there's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
been a
people
good
that
market.
like don't work that market, or they're always looking for things on the MLS and looking for things
Right.
retail. It's like, but the foreclosure market's where it's at. Like there's
That's absolutely.
a ton of people and they all need your help. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's where the business is.
I agree. And my business is largely after foreclosure, so it's the bank owned side of it. We're helping people to acquire foreclosures once the bank owns them. We do a lot of stuff pre foreclosure now because that's, not a lot of stuff's foreclosing, to be honest. Like it's been a while since the foreclosure market's been hot. But I've been in the business for 17 years and I got started as an agent, and I was focusing on HUD foreclosures. The reason I focused on HUD foreclosures was because they paid 5% commission. Everybody else was paying 3% commission. I'm like, man, if I can make more money to sell deals, that's where I want to be. That turned into me buying my own foreclosures. My wife and I flipped over 400 houses here in the Colorado Springs and surrounding areas, and then decided we didn't want to. Our best years, we flipped 47 houses one year, 45 another year, and 40 another year. And then I kind of realized I didn't want to flip that many houses on my own. So now I'm helping other clients to get into foreclosure flipping. I find the deal for them. I analyze it for them. I fund it with my hard money lenders. I fix it with my contractors, and I flip it with my agents, and they get the guaranteed profit. Why? Because I make a little money on finding the deals for them, so it
Yeah,
adds
you
up to
do.
a great relationship.
So you're like a full service. So if I came to you and I said, hey, Donnie, I'm new. I'm a new
Hmm.
investor. I want to start investing in fixer uppers.
Yep.
You would help me find the deal,
Yes.
and you would help me fund the deal,
Yes.
and you would have contractors for me,
Hmm.
and then we'd be selling it retail, I'm assuming through you.
I'm not the agent anymore. I'm no longer licensed, but I have an agent on my team that offers an incredible discount for listing with me because I bring him so much volume.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's about not even a third of what you would pay a normal retail agent. Because I've set up everything so it's discounted. We also own a flooring store here in Colorado Springs, so we get the
Oh,
carpet cheap. We also have a title company that gives me a special rate for my clients. My lenders give me a special rate for my clients. So the bottom line, Dwan, is it's just less expensive to do a deal with me than it would be. You mentioned if you were a new person trying to get started out, finding the deals one of the hardest parts of this process, as you know. So I eliminate that from the equation, and then I make all the other parts of it less expensive and easier, so the first time or veteran flipper can do more deals at less cost.
yeah, I like that. And we do. My son does a lot of deals in Denver. A lot.
Okay.
He buys houses that people have a lot of equity, but they're
Mhm.
just days away from the foreclosure sale. And he partners with them. So,
Oh, okay.
he makes up the back payments, fixes up the house, and then like the homeowner split it. But he does so many deals. I'm gonna send him up. If you have a flooring store, I'm gonna send him over to you.
Hey, hook me up with that contact. I will definitely hook him up. We love working with investors at the flooring store, because we are investors at heart. So we do, of course, make some margin on it, but much less margin than you're going to pay retail. We
Well, they buy
spent
their
almost,
stuff like at Home Depot. They're going to get clearly a better deal over if you've got a store.
yeah, way better deal. We probably a good savings of $25 to $4,000 per property just on the flooring alone, because we're using my own flooring store. We spent over $200,000 on flooring in 1 year when I was flipping all those houses. I was like, man, if we're going to spend that much on flooring, I might as well own the flooring store. So we went out and bought.
It's true though. It's like when I was full time into wholesaling, I worked with like the same real estate agent, the same title company, the same mortgage broker, like the same everybody. Because once you're
Hmm.
doing that many deals like that, it's just easier to like, look, all my buckets are over here. And when you
Yep,
want to work with me, we're going to work with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this person. And it's just, you like invented a wheel that's like a fine
yep,
tuned wheel
absolutely.
in your for people that want to work with you. And when people are like, oh, I need to find my own title, I want to brand, it's like, no, we're doing
I got it
everything
all.
right here because these people
That's right.
know the deal. I don't have to reach, so otherwise you're constantly retraining people.
That's right. And I call it the foreclosure profit system. And over the last, I've really been developing it for nearly 20 years, but I've really perfected it for other people to use it now. And I really akin it to buying a McDonald's franchise, right? You could open a burger joint and figure it out. But if you want a system that's proven and functional and can get you into doing deals right away, that's where I step in. All the systems dialed in to find it, analyze it, fund it, fix it, sell it, all for much less than you could on your own. You're going to make a guaranteed profit working with me. I don't let anybody leave my coaching program without being profitable. It's not good for business.
Not
So I
good
want
for
to make sure
business.
if they work with me, they're going to get a result. And that's what separates me from a lot of the gurus out there who just sell information. I'm not in the information business. I'm in the results business.
Yeah, I like that because Bill and I also do coaching and mentoring, and people are like, oh, like not to name names, but I'm going to. People
Sure.
will be like, oh, the fortune builders, I spent 50
Oh
grand,
boy.
and all the rich dad, I spent 50 grand, and they name all these people. It's like, so how are your results? And like,
Right.
oh,
How to get?
I get a one phone call for 30 minutes every week on Wednesday. It's like, well, what if you find a deal on Thursday?
Then you're in trouble.
Who's going to
That's
help
what it
you?
comes.
You got to wait a week.
Right.
And
Right.
so many people, and I know you do too. So many people are just so unhappy with like the guru. So I feel like
Hmm.
I'm a guru, but I'm like an anti-guru guru. I
Yes.
think I'm like you. Like, listen, if you're gonna work with me, I'm actually gonna talk to you
That's right.
on the
That's right.
phone, and I'm
Yep.
gonna answer your text messages. And
Yes.
my husband and I and my son, we're gonna work with you directly instead of like sending you off to, I call it the puppy mill, like the
That's so
puppy mill,
sad.
where you like, yeah, you get sent off to the phone room in like Utah. It's like the puppy mill, and you just
Yeah.
some person making 10 bucks an hour is
Right.
answering questions right out of your program verbatim.
That's right. They're reading
It's
it from the
like,
book that you already paid $30,000 for.
oh, it's
They
like,
can
man.
offer no actual advice. It's not good for people. And unfortunately, these large scale systems, and I don't want to name any names either, but I'm going to, the Than Merrills of the world,
Oh,
the Women's Real Estate Investor Network. I heard, Dwan, that they have 20,000 members. And people pay $20,000 to get into that group, and roughly 2% of the people in that group are actually doing deals. Can you
yeah.
imagine spending 20 grand to talk about real estate? It doesn't make sense. Get a local mentor like you or me who can
Yeah.
actually help you to do deals. It can make such a huge difference
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
game.
all the time. Every, my husband and I, we probably still do one sugar. We really like to travel, so we do like one workshop a month still, like,
Okay.
yeah, forever. And so we did one a couple months ago in California. We just did one in Cincinnati. We did one in Atlanta, and all of the people were like, "Oh, this seminar rolled through town." And there's people
Hmm.
that spent 50, 60, $75,000. I'm like, first of all, are you insane?
That's nuts, isn't it?
Are you insane? And then they're like, oh yeah, not only that, but then every time I call for something, they upgrade me and I keep paying more money to get like
Right.
upgraded. It's like, oh. So I
Well,
I detest that business model. My
I
husband
do too.
many decades ago were like, we are never gonna be. I had an infomercial on TV for about 2 years, and I was like, you know what?
Really?
Yeah, I did, and I sold so much, like, but then I told at the end of the day, it was like, I told my husband, I said, I just don't like us being in this business model. Like, we don't get to talk to anybody. We don't get to
Hmm.
coach people. We don't get to do that. And I don't want people saying, "Oh, I spent all this money with Dwan and
And got nothing.
I got nothing." And
Yep.
so when it came time to renew the contract, I told the company, I said, "Listen, I don't want to renew it." So they were really super
Probably a conversation
livid,
for
threatened
offline,
me
but
with like death. And I was like, "Listen, I wrote it into the contract that, if I don't want to renew it," and I mean, it was a big decision because you're walking away from like millions of dollars.
sure.
But
But
at
you
the
want
end
to
of
do
the
the right
day,
thing.
it's like I can't
Yeah,
do it. I cannot live with myself at night
that's right.
knowing what all those other people did, I am also doing. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. So I quit.
Well, and kudos to you. You look at, if you Google, again, not naming names, but if you Google Than Merrill net worth, he's worth $100 million. Right? So I'm not I mean, I can't complain about a model that made the guy 100 million. Just for me, I don't want to look in the mirror every day and know that I made my wealth, my fortune off of taking advantage of the desires of people who are never actually going to do deals. Now, like, if you don't put in the work, if you don't actually
Yeah,
do what it takes to do deals, nothing you and I can do, right? But if you're working hard, you're taking the education, you're actually going out and doing deals, then what you and I teach is very lucrative over the
yeah,
long term. But it's not overnight success. It's not easy money, right? It comes down to somebody holding your hand through the difficult stages. And I pride myself on being a coach, not a mentor. I'm going to walk you through your problems, whatever you're scared about. I'm going to help you through it. But ultimately, it's up to you to pull the
yeah,
trigger, as you know.
yeah. And I agree. I agree. Like we're always gonna have people that invest with us and they don't do anything, but they don't do anything. But if
Right.
someone's like, "Hey, I'm really gonna do this," I mean, our average student makes $108,000 in the first 6 months on
That's
average.
incredible.
So it's like, but I'm like, "Listen, don't work with me if you're not gonna actually do it, because I
That's
don't
right.
want my name added to the list."
Right. Right.
I don't
And
ever
I'll
want
tell you,
my name on that list of people that roll through town and granted, yeah, you're right. It's like, "Oh, they're worth $100 million." It's like, "That's great," but how many people did you put into bankruptcy and run up all their
thank you.
credit cards
Thank
and
you.
run up, all the stuff, and then they didn't make payments, they had to file bankruptcy. Like, how many people did you do that to?
To get to where you are, right? And I'm a man of faith, and I just believe that
Me
you're
too.
going to deal with that at some point in the future. Like, I feel like you make all the money in the world, but what good is if you lose your soul, right? And I'm just not wired that
Amen.
way. You know?
Everybody knows I'm a Christian, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I gotta stand before God someday, and I can't be like, oh
Man,
yeah, I made $100 million, and behind me are 100,000 people that are bankrupt." It's like,
right?
you can't do
Fire
that.
and
I'd rather
brimstone,
just
baby.
make less and do the right thing.
Amen. Yep.
And at the end of the day, I go to sleep. I feel good about it. My people that work, they make money just like with you. They make money, and we don't get our name added to the list.
That's right.
It's like the blacklist. It's like I don't want
It
to be
is.
on
It's a
that
terrible
list.
list to be on.
I don't want to be on
It's a
that list.
terrible list to be on. So many people are comfortable with it. And I know obviously you're not one of those people, because one of the things I can tell about those people is they would never have me on their show. They see me as competition. You and I understand that there's enough business out there. There's enough people who really need help that we couldn't possibly help all of them. My
Yeah.
heart and your heart, I can tell, is in helping people. So it makes sense to do shows together. Some people can
Yep.
identify with Dwan's style. Some are going to identify with my style, but there's enough to go around, right? And the
Those are
coaches
the
who are really
exact
going
words
to
that
help
come
people
out
are
of my
okay with that.
mouth is like when I first started teaching, I soon realized like, well, I can't help. I was in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's like I can't help all the people in West Palm Beach, Florida that are in foreclosure. There's thousands of them and there's
That's
me.
right.
So I was like, well, if I
Mhm.
teach other people and if there's enough of us, we can help everybody. And so I am
Absolutely.
from the exact those words would be verbatim out of my mouth. It's like there's enough for every single solitary person on the face of the earth that wants to be an investor to do it. There's enough
Yes.
deals, there's enough people, there's enough trouble out there. Everyone can use help. And we don't all have to like we need just more people the better.
Well, this is
Simple.
an interesting way to make a living if you think about it. Like, I think we're in a space where we have to take people from a state of inaction to a state of action in an investment that, let's face it, there's a certain degree of risk in real estate investing. We're mitigating that risk by walking them through it. But if people don't have the right risk tolerance, they don't have the right capitalization, they simply shouldn't be doing this. I'm really looking for clientele who can pull the trigger on a deal before I sign them up for coaching. We have
Yep.
that conversation. Can you actually do a deal? And if you can do a deal, now I'm looking for coachability. Are you going to do what I tell you to do? Right. And some people just aren't. That's just a fact. There's nothing we can do about that,
Now
right?
there's
And it
true.
drives me nuts, but I don't want to take anybody's money who I can't help to make money doing what we do. And I know you and I both know anybody can make money doing flipping or, buy and hold investing. There's so much money to be made. It's
So
just
much
a matter
money.
of having the right guidance. You got to have the right
There's
people
so
around.
much money. Well, I'm so happy to hear your heart about that because I interview a lot of people. And most of the people, like you, are new people to me. So I always
Sure.
interview people, and I'm always curious about like what are they like? What's their heart? What is their
Yeah.
goal? And some people, as I'm talking, I'm just like, wow, they're just like I can feel like there's all about money, and
Yep.
then I kind of regret the interview.
Like, why did I have you on the show?
So I try to like talk about other things. I was like, oh, and then other people like you, I'm like, oh, I could talk to you for like 2 days and just
I
interview
know.
and talk about all of it because I share your heart big time.
Yeah, and it's there's so few of us now, Dwan. I think the internet and the spreading of bad data about real estate investing with YouTube and et cetera, it's made it so it's so easy to make money for selling crap. You don't have to, your information can be something you read in a book yesterday, then you record a YouTube video on it and tout yourself as an expert. I've done over 400 flips. You've done more than that, I'm sure, in your career. And in the end, we bring an expertise that's very rare. It's very hard to get, but a lot of it is doing the first deal. A lot of people need the help to just get past that first deal. And I
They
pride
do.
myself on that. If you're struggling with getting started, I want to be that guy. If you're struggling with advancing to the next level, I want to be that guy. But the rules are simple. You've got to take action, and I got to make sure you're positioned financially and mentally to do so. And that's
Yeah,
what a coach does.
that's
We
what
got to
coach
care.
does. Yeah, no, I agree. It's really is about because I've had a lot of people. I'm sure you have too. I've had a lot of people that want to work with me, and after I talk to them for a few minutes, I'm like, I don't think we're
Mm-mm.
a good fit. And then
That's
other
right.
people will say, "Oh, come on, you can't tell me you turned down that money." I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, because if I feel like they're too conservative
Right.
or they're never going to take a risk or they're
Right.
never going to get out of the box, it's like I don't want to do it. It's not that
Right.
I don't care if someone is concerned or shy or whatever. But it's like, hey, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. You've done it. You
Sure.
teach me, and I'll do it. I'm like, hey, they're like, oh,
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. I don't think I could do that. I don't know. I want to make money, but I don't know. And they were like terrified. I mean,
Right.
I'm still willing to help them like take the step. But there are just certain people that no matter what, they're not going to take the step. You know
Right.
that before
Right.
you take their money, they're not going to take that step. So it's like, send them off. Are you enjoying this episode? Make sure you don't miss a single solitary episode. Click subscribe, like, follow, all the things so you'll get notifications whenever time a new show comes out. And let your friends know about it too. It's amazing. All right, so if you want to learn more about real estate investing, just reach out to Dwanderful.com. I'll send you some free stuff. Back to the show.
Well, and you meet people from all sorts of walks of life. And we talked about the other Dwan, like they came to me, they wanted to do a deal. They were in a deal they found on their own. Quite honestly, most of the time I find the deal, but I'm happy when they find it on their own because it
Yeah,
saves them. My assignment fee is $10,000 to $20,000. I still make sure they're going to be profitable, but I take a good chunk off the top because I've got expenses in marketing and whatnot to locate deals. But they just needed that final push, right, to actually do a deal, and now they're actively doing deals. And I don't want to take credit; they did the work, but some people just need to pay somebody to get going, and
too.
that's what I'm sure people come to you, but you, like you said, you can tell the people that need a little bit of push, and then you can tell the people need to be dragged kicking and screaming. And as I get more and more advanced in coaching, I don't
Ah,
want the kicking and screaming people anymore, right? Either
oh,
you're coming
I
with me
know.
or we're not doing this journey.
I'm so with you. God, I love your heart. Okay, so now you're in Colorado Springs. So do you work just there or are you like nationwide?
So I have clients all over, but one of the rules right now for my clients is that we have to do a deal here in my local market. So we're buying in Colorado Springs and Pueblo primarily right now. Pueblo because it's less expensive and a little less competitive. And Colorado Springs just because I've done so many deals here that it's just easier for me to find them here. I am looking to expand into a warmer climate by this fall. I want to be in Phoenix or Vegas or anywhere that doesn't have snow. So I have an excuse to go down there. I'm just tired. I'm getting too old for winters, Dwan. I don't know what it is. But right now, I have clients in New Jersey and Las Vegas and all over the country, but they all have to buy a house right here in the local market to do their first deal. But we send
Nice.
them videos and pictures, and we walk them through the whole process, and they can fly out here and see it if they want. But I think it's so important to get that first deal done in a market that I have full control over. Once
Yeah.
you learn the process, then we can expand that knowledge to other markets, and we can find deals anywhere.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think most people that do any kind of coaching would be that strict, like, oh, you have to do your first deal here. They'd be like, oh, we'll do you wherever you're at. But I agree with that because you have everything laid out. And if they do their first deal there, especially if they come there, like, they
Hmm.
should invest the time and the money and fly there and see the area and see the markets and see the neighborhoods and see the stuff because
Yes,
you know, any good investor invests out of their own market anyway. They invest
that's
all
right.
over the place.
That's
But
right.
if they learn it and they do it in Colorado Springs, they can take that wherever they're at
That's
and
right.
they can do it and they'll have the same result because you're still going to be watching over them and coaching them.
Yeah, and the idea is dialing in a system. Once again, this is a franchise for flipping. It's you can do this anywhere. That's the fact. I could build out construction
You sell
teams,
a
and
franchise?
I mean, the foreclosure profit system is not a franchise in of itself, but I treat it like one. It's a system that you can take and repeat. So it comes with education and backing, but the first deal, everybody's got to get through their first deal. The biggest challenge, I think, is just getting past it, getting that first paycheck. So we do that here, and now you've bought a system from me that you can repeat that and do that wherever you happen to be located. But getting started, it just has to be here because I can control it here. And I'm a bit of a control freak, I guess, but I just want to make sure that nobody gets hurt on my watch. And the only way to make sure that's the case is if it's in my neighborhood, I can go see it. I can make sure it's okay. They keep the profit, but I walk them through that first deal so they learn the process, and everybody's more beneficial because I can control it because it's in my backyard.
I love it. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm actually in Iowa right now. So
Okay.
my husband's from this is my little like farmhouse kind of background in Clinton,
Yeah.
Iowa. My husband's from Iowa. And,
Okay.
so we live up in Bailey, like, up kind of on the other side of the mountain, I guess, from you. And my husband's from here, so we come back for, like, high school reunions and stuff like that. And
Sure.
I was always like, "This sounds like the cute little downtown." It's like, "This is like a downtown that time, like, literally forgot this downtown." It's cute, but there's, like, nothing going on. So we start
Okay.
talking to people, we're like, "Oh, yeah, they have this, downtown rejuvenation kind of thing going on." So over
Okay.
the last couple years, we bought 20 buildings here.
Oh my gosh. You
20.
went hard. So
Yeah.
you basically own a small town in Iowa now.
Kind
Like,
of. So we're like hard in the paint right now. So we've got 20, and this is only like 3 blocks this way and 3 blocks this way. It's a little area. And
wow.
I think we have 20 parcels. They're not all
Yeah,
buildings. A
sure.
couple of them are
But still,
parking
that's
lots,
huge.
but it's huge. And it's like, and people are like, well, why would you do that? You guys live in Colorado. It's like, well, we go to Florida all the time, so we do deals there. We go to Texas a lot, we do deals there. We do deals in Colorado, we do deals in Iowa. Like a deal's a deal. We'll do deals anywhere. It doesn't matter where it's at.
That's right.
So a
Well,
lot
and
of
as long
people,
as somebody's controlling it, as long as you got the right operator, a deal is a deal as long as somebody's watching it. And the problem with some of these systems is they're trying, like we mentioned, Dan Merrill on the 800 number for the call center. That person doesn't know any market, much less the local market that you're in. So
exactly.
I know this market really well. Like you said, we've done some deals in Florida. I know that market to some degree. I can learn any market, but since I'm already here, you're
Yeah,
buying advice from a local professional right here inside the
I like it.
market. So the probability of failure is extremely low because I'm controlling all the variables, you
Yeah,
know?
I like it. I like it. So we have a lot of people that invest over here in Iowa now. Like, oh, we want to do stuff in Iowa. It's like, well, you can. You can use
That's
our
so cool.
people, our managers. You can use our property. You can use our rehabbers. You can use whatever you want to. So I'm like, but
That's awesome.
so but I'm like you. As long as you can help them and you have the control and then when they go to their market, maybe they live in I don't know Texas, they can
Right.
learn to find a title company and use the same person all the time
That's right.
and find some rehabbers and use them all the time. And when they find all that, they'll do great because once you get your team, you've got your team.
That's right. And people, you nailed it. It's about building the system and the team, right? The flipping, what we do is not that difficult. It's buy low, sell high. There's not a
Yeah,
lot of variables in between, right? You make it tough if you don't know the right people to call. Like you got to know what the title company is supposed to look like. And you and I both know they're investor-friendly title companies,
Oh yeah.
and there's one that's just going to be a royal pain in the tuchus, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
until you work with an investor-friendly one, you're not going to be able to tell the variable between the two. So I'm just setting it up here so you get it. You can do as many deals as you want here, but if you wanted to expand to Iowa, Texas, whatever,
Yeah.
once you've done a couple of deals, it's much easier to do that because you understand what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it is. It's like, I remember when I first started, I'm dating myself here. I started back in South Florida. There was not even a RIA group yet.
Oh, wow.
There was not even pagers. This is like 1988, 89, 90, like
Okay.
OG. And when I first did a deal or two, a RIA group did open. And then there was a couple title companies and I started and I had closed just a few deals. And I think just through like because I had rehabbed them, I had fixed them up so they went through like regular title companies. But once I discovered like investor friendly, it's like
So different game.
it's a whole nother business.
It
You
is.
know,
It
and
truly is.
like those are the title companies that know all the stuff and help us look for
Mhm.
all the things and lean just all the things and they know how to close the deals right. And there's been quite a few transfers of title along on these deals.
Absolutely.
You got to have an investor friendly person because if you're just trying to do everything at like a retail place, it's going to cost
You're
you
in
a
trouble.
fortune. It's going to take too long.
Yep.
You're going to pay way too much money, and they're never going to get what you're doing.
And it's risky. And the reality is
It's
people lose money
risky.
if their team's not dialed in. Like if the title company misses something they would have caught in an investor-friendly title company. If you don't have the lien, the proper title insurance, that's costing you money because you didn't get a hold open policy when you should have. Like just a
Yeah,
long list of things that the rookie investor and retail title company doesn't understand
they
that
don't.
you and I as experts understand. And that's why it makes sense to hire coaching, get somebody to help you out, me or you or whoever, but you wouldn't try to fly a plane or get your pilot's license without hiring a flight instructor. And you really shouldn't do a flip or your first investment deal without getting a coach. Just
Yeah,
what I
no,
believe.
I'm with you. So if someone is like new and they come to you, they're like, okay, Donnie, I want to flip a house. What is like
Mhm.
something like, do they have to have a set amount of money? What do I need to do to qualify to work with you? Because so I
I love
bought
that.
the coaching and I
Yeah.
drank the Kool-Aid. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what do I need to do? Give me like one actionable step.
Well, it's actually three. I'm going to give you the three steps it takes to be in my coaching program. Number one, you must be willing to do a deal in the Colorado market, right? Because as we
Okay.
talked about, I'm only doing deals right here, right now. I will be pushing other markets in the next year or so, but right now, you must be willing to buy a house in Colorado. Number
Okay.
two, you must be liquid to our minimum of $50,000. The basis of that is we're buying at an average of 300K in Colorado Springs right now. The lenders used to want 10% down, but things have gotten dicey, so now they want 15% down. So
Yeah.
you're going to need about 45,000 to 50,000 liquid. And if you don't have it, then you're in the education phase. And that's okay. But it doesn't make sense to pay me for coaching if you can't buy a deal. So I'm not going to take anybody who doesn't have the liquidity to do a deal, right?
Okay. I love
And
that.
number
I love that.
and number three, and perhaps the most important, and I mentioned it before, is you must be coachable. And I want to make sure that you're in a mental position where you're prepared to take advice. You know as well as I do, Dwan, way back when you did your first deal, you were nervous, you were concerned. All these concerns are valid. It's a part of the
Ah,
process, right? But you
it is.
did it anyway. You pushed through. Maybe you did. Did you have a coach when you got started?
No.
You
Seat
did
of
it on
my
your own.
pants, 100%. I didn't even know coaches existed till I was like 5 years in.
Okay, see, and that's not abnormal, right? In my world, you must know that obviously, if you're having a conversation with me, you know that I exist, but also that you're ready to be coached. You
Yeah.
must be willing to understand that you're going to be put in a nervous position somewhere
Yeah.
along the way. It's supposed to scare you a little bit, right? So if you don't feel like you can be pushed to get the best out of yourself when you need a coach, then I'm probably not the right fit, and that's okay. But if you're willing to do a deal in Colorado, you
Yep.
got the 50K liquid, and you're
Okay.
coachable, I think I'm the right guy to help anybody to do a foreclosure for.
Yes, you are. I'm going to send people to you. I love what you do. I love that. It's like,
I
I'm going to
appreciate
say,
that.
hey, you need to go talk to Donnie, man. He's your guy.
That's a huge honor coming from you. Thank you.
No,
That's a
seriously.
huge.
I have a lot of people in Denver. They're like, will you guys help me through a deal? It's like, well, we're in Iowa for the summer. I'll coach you. I'll guide you. You can use your phone. I'll look at what I want. But if you want someone to stand next to you, I can't do that. So
Right.
you can.
Absolutely. And I'd be honored. That's really the client I want. And I tell you my big picture vision, it is kind of self-serving, but I think when people understand my motivation, I want 50 clients here in the Colorado market, each doing 4 deals per year. If I'm averaging a $10,000 assignment fee profit from each deal, that's $2 million a year plus what I'm charging for coaching. I can make an incredible living by simply helping people to achieve their objectives, right?
You
And I'm
can.
super transparent about this. I make money as long as you're making money, right? And a lot of coaches don't care about that because they're just selling coaching. But I
Exactly.
built this system so they can, if I'm doing well, they're doing well, and vice versa. And whoever you hire to coach, they need to be super transparent on their goals for you. If it's
Yeah.
just to sell you a $40,000 coaching package, don't walk, run. Get out of
Run.
there. Get somewhere
Run.
else.
I
Right?
tell people all the time, like, listen, you need to run for the hills. Like, why did you do that?
That's
Like,
right. That's right.
and and I'm all about people. Like, now when I started way back, um, well, I guess we'll probably talk about more when I'm on your show. But the only person on TV was Carlton Sheets.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
even know. Some people don't even
I
remember
remember that
that.
guy.
There
He
was
was my hero.
no Rich Dad. There was no fan. I mean, the internet wasn't even out until
That's right.
1998. So I was a decade in before the internet came out. So
Sure.
now, so I think the good thing is, I learned by the seat of my pants. So I made a ton of
Mhm.
mistakes. But I learned from each mistake. I thought, oh, I could just teach other people like to do like I'm doing, and we can help more people, which I like. And now I feel like there's so many voices and videos and people that people get on YouTube and they start watching videos like, oh, I could work with this person or that person. Nobody knows who to really trust anymore.
That's
And
right.
there's so many people that present as experts that have only done, I mean, you know this, people that do one deal and write a program.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
and then they're like an expert. It's like, but we
No.
know behind the scenes that person did one deal and wrote a program.
That's right. That's right.
If
And,
even.
and, and you're, and you're buying
It's
these,
hard to
you're
know
buying
who
their
to
mistakes.
trust.
Right. Well, you made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. And the thing is that's what you're buying with a coach is you don't have to make the same mistakes you and I made because we paved the way for people. Now you're paying up front for coaching, but you can dodge some of the obvious mistakes. I look back and go, how could I have been so stupid? Well, how
Oh,
else would I have known? I had a coach. I got a coach later on in the game, but I realized I need help. Like if I'm going to really expand this thing to where I want to go, I got to hire somebody to help me out. And
yeah,
I'm looking for people to realize there's no reason to do this on your own. If you
yeah.
really want to invest in a coach, and then they'll help you to do the right investment move to make money on this deal.
I agree. I tell people all the time now, there's the wheel's already been invented. You don't need nobody in the whole world that wants to invest needs to figure it out.
That's right.
There's already people like you and like me that already did figure it out, already made mistakes, already did that. And I tell people all the time, I said, if someone, so this is just one of my things. If someone says, well, my brother or someone's gonna help me or whoever, or I'm gonna buy
Right.
coaching from someone, I mean, listen, unless they've done like 200 deals, they don't know enough to teach you. So that's
Thank
kind of
you.
like my line. So when you said
I
400,
like
like,
that.
oh, because I know that if you've done 400 deals, you know what you're doing. I
Yes.
know how hard that is to do that. So when someone
Yes.
says, "Oh, I've done 25 deals, I'm gonna start coaching people," it's like
No.
you have barely
No.
scratched the surface. You need to have
That's
at least
right.
200 deals under your belt before you think about helping other people because you don't know enough.
Well, and the problem is there's no regulation in our
Or
industry,
even a
right? And
hundred, even a
set up
hundred.
shop.
But if you have, I don't know. I just like 250 is like the number.
I like that. I think the problem is there's no regulation. Like you said, you could literally call yourself a coach. You could do one deal and call yourself a coach tomorrow afternoon. There's no way to know for sure. There's no certification for what we do, right?
I
So
know.
you got to ask about the resume. You got to ask how many deals have you done? What kind of deals have you done? Because that's important, right? You want to make
Oh
sure you're
yeah,
working with somebody who's done what you're trying to do. I'm not as skilled in buying commercial buildings as you are, for sure. But if that's their objective, they should be talking to you. But if you're just getting started and you want to do a residential fix and flip on a deal, I'm pretty qualified for
you're the
that, and I can
guy.
help a lot
Yep.
of people to do that. You know.
I love it. I love it. All right, we're gonna jump topics for a minute.
All
Tell
right.
me who's your favorite band of all time?
Oh, you're gonna love this. Darius Rucker, Hootie the Blowfish. I'm actually in a cover band where I'm Darius. It's kind of typecasting, but I play the
You
guitar.
are?
Yeah, and I play the guitar and I'm acoustic. You're gonna love this. My wife entered me for a sweepstakes to meet Darius Rucker. I won. We're going out there August 2nd. I'm going to meet Darius in person and get to play guitar with Darius Rucker. Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
I'm so fanboy right now. It's nuts. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Darius. I've been playing in bands for 7-8 years, so it's
Oh, I love that.
my
And I love
passion.
Hootie the Blowfish. I love his country. I'm a huge Darius Rucker fan.
Well,
His cool factor's off the chart.
incredibly cool, and he's an incredible businessman. To
Yeah,
combine the rock genre and the country genre the way that he did, he created a whole nother generation of music
he
called
did.
outlaw country, basically.
He
And it's like
did.
in the 90s, country wasn't ready for a black performer. They just weren't. It wasn't something that Opryland was going to sign off on, you know? So he had to kind of produce himself in the rock. And then when he had enough following, he went off and did country, which he was passionate about. And that became the Darius Rucker we know today. So just,
And I
he's my
agree.
hero.
My dad is a huge bluegrass fan. So my parents
Okay.
are from Tennessee. My grandparents, so they're back in like the Hank Williams Senior days. And the only black performer back in the day was Charlie Pride.
Yep.
And there was like
Yep.
no black country people. I mean, people dipped in and out of it, but there was
Right.
no one that came in like, okay, I'm in
Right.
and I'm of color and people love me until Darius.
So
I feel
Darius.
like he started this generation
He completely did. Now there's
of,
a bunch of black artists. I mean,
oh, there's
Beyonce
a
thinks she's
bunch.
a country artist. It didn't work out. That album's terrible. But like the idea that now black performers can be in country was largely because of Darius Rucker. You know, he
Yeah,
kind
no,
of created.
I 100%. I've listened to it my whole life. Deep down I like bluegrass though. I'm just like
Sure.
when my husband's not home and I've got like the series TV on, I'll put on some bluegrass. It's like he's like, what do you listen to? It's like, I don't know. It reminds me of my grandparents, like sitting
There you
around
go.
outside. There was always someone picking the guitar and singing and like bluegrass. And as I got older, I was like, huh, there's all the people in country are white. I wonder why only Charlie Pride. And then
Yep.
you learn about racism and learn about all the stuff. And then when
It was a
Darius
real problem.
made the jump, I thought he's going to make it because Hootie and the Blowfish are amazing,
Amazing band. The
and
first song
he's
I learned to play on
amazing,
guitar.
and he's on country. So you're going to go meet him and play with
I'm
him.
gonna meet him in person. We're gonna go play golf. I understand. Like they're he's got this charity event for like troubled teens or something. So he auctions off time with him basically. And my wife went way too. I don't know how many tickets she bought, but she bought a lot of tickets because she knows I'm a super fan. And then like we were actually, you get into the little spats with your spouse. Like so we were in one of our little spats, and she's like, "By the way, you won the Darius Rucker thing," and then like hung up the phone on me. I was like, "Don't mess with me about something like that. That's not nice." And then like the day after, she said, "No, I'm serious. You won. Like we're going to meet Darius Rucker," and I was over the top emotional, just like, oh, he's my hero. Like this guy's my
Oh
music.
my God,
I get
I
to meet
would
him in
be so
August.
excited too. And that's in Vegas, you said.
He's at his place in South Carolina. He lives in South Carolina,
So
so
you're
we're
going to
going down
South
here.
Carolina?
Going to South Carolina. They're
You
putting
just
us
go to
up in
his
a
house and
hotel.
like hang out with him?
I guess we're going to his house. We're going to play golf at his favorite course, and then all I want, Dwan, my life would be complete if I could play one song. If I could get Darius Rucker and my voice on the same track just once, I could die and go to musical heaven right then and there.
All right, I'm
I'd be
putting that
happy
on my
as can be.
prayer list.
There you go. There you go.
I expect you to
So,
send me a picture, like, hey, send me a text and say, and with a picture with you with Dare. That's so awesome.
wow, thank you. I'm so excited. Like I've never been. I don't fanboy out very often. Like I try to keep very normal. He's my exception. Like I literally become. I'm gonna
Shit, I
become a
would
Taylor
fangirl
Swift.
over Darius Rucker any day. He's amazing.
He's amazing. His music's amazing. His voice is amazing. The first song I learned to play on guitar was "Let Her Cry." So and
Oh.
that's been my go-to acoustic song ever since, and I think I'm pretty darn good at it. But let's see what Darius thinks. We're gonna find out what Darius thinks.
So, I'll have to have you on again, like in a year or so, and you're gonna have to bring on the guitar and play a
Oh,
little
that'd be
music
awesome.
for us.
I
If
would
I had
love that.
known that, I'd have had you have your guitar out right now.
I mean, it's right over there, but we're running low on time. But
We
it's
get a little preview. All right, what's your favorite food?
I'm more of a steak and potatoes kind of guy. We have a steakhouse. I proposed to my wife at the famous steakhouse in Colorado Springs, actually just a block from where I'm sitting now. My condo's across the street, so we go there a lot because I'm a big steak fan.
I am too. What's your favorite time of the day?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say 4 to 5 p.m. when I'm getting off work. I'm not much of a drinker anymore, but I do enjoy the Colorado State flower quite a bit. So that's kind of my time to chill out and settle my day a little bit with a little bit of that. And I enjoy that time. I got a balcony. I can show it to you. I live on Tejon. I don't know if you've been in downtown Colorado Springs ever, but this is our balcony.
Oh,
We're on the parade route. So I
I
sit on my
love it.
patio and we enjoy that every afternoon, 4 to 5. It's kind of
Oh,
my
I know. I
down.
bet that's great. Okay, next parade's coming over. Then I'm gonna come hang out with you because you're on the balcony.
Please, you're always welcome. Always welcome.
So, two last final questions. So, what is your biggest goal that you're working on right now, and how can the Dwanderful family help you to reach your next goal?
I love that. I really want to get to 50 clients, Dwan, and I know we're both in the coaching business, but I think, we've determined that you're in a different space than I am. I really want to hit that 50 clients this year, and just help 50 people to do their first flip. That's my professional passion. That's what I really want to be doing. So it would be awesome if there are people who maybe, are more local to the market, want to work in Colorado. If anybody out there, I can help with that. That's my biggest thing. 50 clients doing 4 deals a year
All
is really
right, so everyone you hear, 50 clients. So if you're interested, and listen, Colorado Springs is beautiful. I love it over there. It's a beautiful area. So, Donnie, I feel like could help so many of you reach some of your goals. And just
Well, I
one last
appreciate that.
time, tell everyone how to reach you again, so it's in the show notes more than once.
Absolutely. www.foreclosuredealscoach.com. Check out my podcast, the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast, for insights in the investing world. You can follow me on Facebook, just Donnie Coram. I like friending people all over the country and meeting people, but you can follow me at foreclosuredealscoach.com or at Foreclosure Deals Coach, and you'll find me anywhere with that.
Okay, I love it, guys. I gotta tell you, you're one of my favorite people I've ever interviewed.
Oh, well, thank
Honestly,
you.
I'm just like, oh,
Thank
I
you.
just love your heart. It's like I feel what you're saying. I feel exactly the same way. It's so hard to
Well,
find people that really genuinely, truly just want to help people.
I do. And the thing is, listen, it's somewhat self-serving. I want to make a lot of money too, but I found that the best way to make a lot of money is help a lot of people make a lot of money. So you can get what you want by helping people get what they want,
That's what
right?
they
And that's
say.
every coach should have that mindset. If we help other people, we should be compensated very well, and
That's what I
that's
say too. If
my
you just
vision.
help other people, then money will come to you. God will bring
That's
it to
right.
you.
Absolutely.
All right, so
Amen.
everyone, I know that you all love Donnie for sure. So make sure you follow him on all the social medias. Also, if you're new to my podcast, this is the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. And my name is Dwan Bent Twyford. You can reach me at dwanderful.com, DWANDERFUL.com. I've got free ebooks, free training. I've got webinars for you to watch. And I'm YouTube, I've got, I don't even know, 300 videos on YouTube at this point. So check out if you want to watch us, if you're like, oh, I love listening to these two. Because Donnie, most people listen to podcasts, but
Yes.
I'm a big proponent. I'm like, if you want to really enjoy the fun and the magic, you need to go
Gotta
to my
see it.
YouTube page and watch us. Because look how much
Absolutely.
fun we are.
Absolutely. I've had a
And it's
blast. Thank you so
I
much.
so much would rather watch people than just listen to them because you get the
Yep.
body language, you get all the stuff. So go over to my YouTube channel, just type in Dwanderful Real Estate and get over there and watch the two of us, and you'll have some fun with us. Okay, last question. I want you to give us a parting word of wisdom, but I only want you to give me a single word, one word.
Courage.
Okay,
It
now
takes courage to
wait,
do
wait,
this.
wait, wait,
And
wait, wait, wait. Don't tell me what it
yeah,
means. Hold on, hold on.
okay.
So everyone that listens, you know that every week we have a word of the week. So the word of the week is courage. So I ask everyone to write the word courage on like a sticky note and put it up on their mirror, like in their bathroom, brushing your teeth, look at the word courage, 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 courage. But then I want to know now, what does that mean to you?
Take the first step. There's a lot of money to be made. Your life could be changed. I sit here before you, a student of someone who helped me get where I am today, but it takes a lot of courage to do this. And I hope I can help as many people as possible to provide that courage. I know that you do that for a bunch of people, Dwan, and this is my passion for coaching, but the courage has to start within a little bit. You got to get that courage internal, find the courage, take the first step, make the move. You won't regret it. I promise.
Amen. All right, guys, that's what courage means. And to me, I feel the same way. The courage is having the courage to take the first step.
Yep.
Anybody, if you want to, walk, run a 5 mile marathon, you still have to take the first step.
First step.
First
Real
step.
estate investing is lots of first steps, but the first big one, I think, is finding somebody to help you out. So either reach out to you, Dwan, and get started with coaching, reach out to me, get started in coaching, but you got to reach out to somebody if you really want to do this and you're in the financial position to do it and you have the courage to do it. Take that first step. You'll be happy you did.
Amen. I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, everybody. Thank you for being on the show with me today, Donnie. I know that time is our most valuable asset, so I appreciate you spending the time with me. And don't hang up yet because I want to make sure I get a little bit more information for you before we
Sure.
disconnect over to the next thing. And everyone else that's watching, thank you for watching. I want you to do me a favor. If you had a good time, if you enjoyed the show, if you learned, if you laughed, anything, if you're fanboying over Darius Rucker, anything, I want you to leave a 5-star review, subscribe on wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe everywhere, and leave reviews and share. Don't be a gatekeeper. Share with everybody about that we both have shows, because podcasting is definitely a labor of love, and it takes a lot of work to do them and to arrange the guests and all the stuff that we do. And we do it to help you and educate you and help you in your journey as well. So help us back in return. And we'll be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel. And remember that the truth is in the red letter. All right, everybody. See you next week. Ciao. Donnie, thank you.
Thank you.
You just had a taste of the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. So just one more thing before you go. If you laughed, if you learned something, please leave a 5-star review. Don't be a gatekeeper. Share it with everyone that you know. And I'll see you back here next week for the most wonderful real estate podcast ever.